Well, hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and if you are new, welcome to you as well. This is Christine, your DIY craftaholic. This video is called Easter Around the World, and I'm sharing 4 easy Easter DIYs for you. I'll talk a little bit more about the playlist, so let's get crafting. So for our first inspiration, I'll be using this little shadow box that I got from Michael's. I bought a few of them when I went there a few weeks ago. And I got this piece of breast cancer awareness fabric from the Dollar Tree. But I thought that this was so beautiful, so I decided to use a piece of it. So I took the L ruler and I measured the opening on the inside of the shadow box, 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then I placed that measurement on the cloth and cut that out, because I want that to fit on the inside. And when you're cutting, make sure to give yourself a little room. So like an extra 1/4 of an inch, you can cut that on leave that on the fabric before you cut. So now I'm going to glue that in. So I'm just measuring to see how much I needed to trim that down, because I really did need to trim it off a little bit. And that's a good thing about cutting extra. It's best to have a little to trim off than not have enough fabric. So I use a roller cutter and I trim that off. And while cutting, I realized that I should have used the heat press to press out the fold. So that's what I did. Then I glued it in using some Mod Podge. You can use school glue or fabric glue. And of course, after you place the fabric in there and you realize that you still need to trim a little bit, you just use the X-Acto knife and cut off the excess. I then used the brayer to smooth that out. And then I thought I needed to just secure it a little bit more, so I used the heat press. Now this part is optional. If you have a heat gun, you can use that, or you can just leave it to dry naturally. And of course, if you still need to trim down some more, go ahead and use your X-Acto knife or your roller and trim further. Trim until you are satisfied, because it's fabric. Once you add the glue to it, which is liquid, it's going to stretch it a little bit. So once that is done, I went over it with some Mod Podge just to seal the paint and to give it a little gloss. And then I took these rabbits that I got from the Dollar Tree in a set, and I'm removing their tail. Some came off easily, some did not, so I had to apply some heat to remove that. And then I took a baby wipe with some antique wax and went over that to just stain them. And if you notice where the tail was, that part was difficult to stain. I took some Scrabble tiles that spell the word bunny, and I also just wiped the baby wipe over those and stained them as well. Now here I am going over with the Mod Podge because I thought I was done. Now this part you can leave until afterwards, but I thought I was done before I glued them on. I decided to just add the Mod Podge. But while I was doing all of that, I realized that, okay, but Christina can go a little bit further, and you will see what I did at the end. So why I added the Mod Podge was I was going to just glue on the bunnies, glue on the letters, and glue the 2 foam roses at the top and call it a day. But then I realized, but Christine, you can turn this into the front of the bunny. So I took a fine tip marker or Sharpie, and I'm trying to draw in the eyes or the face. But the fine tip marker wasn't working because, of course, you added the Mod Podge, Christine, so nothing ain't working. I got the marker and that worked better, so I decided to just go over that, drew in the eyes, drew in his nose and his mouth, and the back now becomes the front. Oh, they're looking so cute. You can never tell that this was the back of the bunny. And then I took the white marker and just gave them a little sparkle in the eyes. and then painted in ears. Just use the marker to just give a stroke, and then to go over the edges now to highlight it. As I was doing all of this, my creative juice was just flowing. So I was working with it. So now I took some pink paint and my perforating tool, and I'm coloring over the white part that you saw me just drew in, because I thought that it needed to be pink and not white. And that pink just blended in with the roses and the pattern on the fabric. And now my little bunnies have come to life. So now I took the hot glue and I glue on the word. Now you want to glue on the first letter and the last letter, and just put the bunnies in place first before you start gluing, so that you make sure you have enough space to put everything down. And after you have lined them up, then you can start gluing. So because the back of the bunny is now the front, I took 2 half beads and glued them where the tails were, and that is done. Well, no, not actually done yet. It needed something else, so I glued on a burlap bow right above the roses, and that's now done. Let me know what you think. Now this is the Easter Around the World collaboration. Yes, another collaboration coordinated by CJ, and there are 18 of us on this collaboration. I will leave the links to all of our channels in my description box below. Our only guideline for this collaboration was to craft anything Easter, as many DIYs as we like. So I know that there's a treat waiting for you. Don't forget to click on the playlist link to enjoy all of the videos. I will pin that link in my comment under the video for easy access. So let's jump into our second inspiration. This one is so quick and easy, guys. If you blink, you're gonna miss it. I'll be using one of these flat canvases from the Dollar Tree that came in a set of 2, as well as 2 of these plaid bunnies that came in a set of 6. They're also from the Dollar Tree. So I took some Waverly Antique Wax and a sponge brush and distress the borders of the canvas as well as the surface. And then I took the hot glue and I glued on the bunnies, kind of slanting them a little bit. And then I took some letters from this pack, also from the Dollar Tree, and I'm using the ruler to just give me a straight line. And I'm spelling the word peeps, P-E-E-P-S. So I placed the P and the S down first and used those as anchors, and then filling the other 3 letters. And then I had this pack of stickers in my stash. I'm using one with the flower, and the colors just blended in perfect with the bunnies. And then I took a piece of this burlap ribbon and just wrapped that around the top, glue down the ends at the back. If you are new to my channel or coming over from the playlist, welcome. I'm so happy you joined me today. Here on my channel, I do DIYs on a budget, dupes, look for less, and thrift flips. If you love budget-friendly DIYs like these and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit that notification bell. Hit it again and select all so YouTube notifies you whenever I upload new videos. And this came from the back of picture frame, so I glued that to the back of the canvas so that the sign could stand. And then I decided to give my bunnies a face, so I took the marker and I am just adding eyes and nose and mouth, just like I did for the DIY earlier. Gave them whiskers, and that is it for this one, guys. Quick and easy. Now we're moving on to our third inspiration. This is a wood round that I purchased this from Temu, and I've had this in my stash. And these are the paints that I'll be using: Waverly Ivory and Folk Art Cameo Pink. I wanted the pink on an edge or on an angle. I took a piece of painter's tape and I put that down, and just a small portion at the top of the board I painted that with the cameo pink. Now after the pink dried, I removed the tape and placed that on the pink section, just so I didn't get any of the plaster on that part. and then I applied 2 coats of the plaster. After that dried, I removed the tip, and this is beautiful. Now I'm gonna use 1 panel from this beautiful butterfly napkin. I truly love the colors of this butterfly. And then just trimming off a lot of the white as much as I could. Next, I took the Mod Podge and I'm going to apply that. Now this is called the napkin decoupage technique. If this is the first time you're seeing this technique, I will link a video at the top for you so you can see in more details how I do napkin decoupage. And then to reheat the Mod Podge, I am using a parchment paper on top of the surface and the heat press. Be sure to click that link, save the video so you can go back and watch afterwards. So now that is done. I took this lace ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just trying to see how I wanted to place that there, because that is why I had that section painted in the pink, because that's exactly how I wanted it to look. Now the board, like I mentioned, was too thin, so I took a piece of cardboard and just use that as backing. I will go ahead and cover that with brown paper when I'm done. So I glue down a piece or the mesh ribbon on one side, trim that off, and then fold it over the other sections or the other ends and just glue that down. And next, I am taking a piece of lace ribbon from a friend. So I'm using the hot glue and I'm gluing down a piece of the ribbon right on the edge of the mesh ribbon. And this little sign is looking oh so shabby chic already. Love it. Now that is done, use the gold marker. Now this part is optional, you don't have to do that. I just wanted to make the lines on the butterfly's wings a little bit brighter. And I also filled in some of the dots that were there. And as always, make sure to use a little Mod Podge to seal your project and heat to speed up the process. And to distress the edge of the sign, I took some antique wax with a sponge brush and just dabbed that right around the edge. If this is your first time to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you coming. If you like the content, so like, share, and comment down below, because I really do enjoy reading your comments. So I have these gold rub-on transfers and I cut the word blessing, and I'm going to transfer that on using a small craft stick, and I'm just gently rubbing it, not too hard. And then after I did that, I then took some Mod Podge on the sponge brush and I'm just going over the word just to protect it. I made a bow from the burlap ribbon that I have, and here I am using another piece of the lace. And this is just to tie in the burlap with the lace that's on the round. I'm just making a simple shoelace bow. And then to add some greenery, these are some leaves from one of flower pick that I have. I don't throw out anything, guys. So I'm just gluing those on, and then I glue the bow on top of it. Now you can add any greenery here. I didn't want anything too small, anything too big, and these leaves just came in handy, and I thought it looked perfect on there. And then I just tied a piece of jute string for hanging. And like I said, I'm going to go back and cover the back of this with a piece of brown paper. I also use a piece of rope to run around the edge of the sign, and you'll see that at the end. And this is done, guys. That's all there is to this one. Let me just pause here and say shout out to my subscribers, guys. You are the best. Thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. And if you are new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss out. To follow me on social media, you can scan this QR code to my Linktree address, and there you will find all the platforms to reach, or check my description box for more information. Alright, so let's jump into our fourth inspiration. This one is pretty straightforward. So I took the other half of the 2-pack canvas, 3 more bunnies, and these are the paints that I'll be using. So I painted the bunnies in those colors. I measured and cut a piece of the napkin that I needed and removed the second ply. I am now applying some Mod Podge and using the sponge brush to just spread that thin until it became very tacky, and then I placed the napkin over that and use my finger to smooth it out. And I'm being very careful because I don't want the napkin to tear. And then after that, I took a piece of parchment paper and my heat press, place the parchment paper over the napkin and the heat press to reactivate the Mod Podge to seal it. And then I flipped it over and used the same sponge brush and just folded in the ends and glued those down. Next, I took this white chalk marker from Dollar Tree and I'm going around the edge of the bunnies. It wasn't bright enough, so I switched to a marker. And although the marker was just as pale as the chalk pen, it gave a little bit more smoothness and brightness. And just a side note here, I am going through this very detailed tutorial of this project because there are visually impaired who do listen to YouTube videos, and I just wanted to make sure that my instructions were very clear. So if you already know how to do everything that I'm doing here, you're good. The very detailed tutorial is for those who are not able to see what I'm doing. And now they're all done. Here I'm trying to just place them on the board. I tried to glue on back the same tails, but they weren't looking too pretty. So I took this pack of mini pom-poms from Dollar Tree and I just selected 3 white ones and glued those back on as the tails, and then applied some Mod Podge to seal everything. And then I took the word HOP from this pack of letters from Dollar Tree and just paste those on. And now I'm ready to glue on the bunnies using some hot glue, evenly spacing them out. And after I placed them down, I realized that they were a little bit wonky, so I fixed that, glued on a piece of string at the back, and that is it, guys. Quick and easy, like I said. And here we are for our final reveal. Guys, let me know which of these DIYs today was your favorite. I love everything. Yes, I love everything. And for the peeps sign, I did go ahead and add a bow on top of the burlap, as you see here. Guys, don't forget to check out the playlist down below as well as the host channels. I will link the playlist under the video for easy access. And if you love budget-friendly content like this one and you have not yet subscribed, please do so before you leave. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever I upload new videos. That is it, guys. To enjoy more content like this from my channel, I suggest this video right here or this playlist. And stay safe, my friends, until my next ones. Bye.